So the new meta is a thing called ICM. Okay, ICM pretty much is, it's an acronym, and this pretty much is basically internet capital marketing. Okay, so what exactly is internet capital marketing? Okay, what is that? What is that? Some of you guys already know. Some of you guys don't know. So the way I'm going to explain this to you guys, it's gonna make perfect sense. So for those of you who are new to crypto, you're gonna understand that what I've been saying for whenever we are trading meme coins is we need to bring in normies, right? We need to bring in normies into crypto, right? Currently, right now, last year, it was done completely wrong. We had celebrity coins, which, some went up, some went completely down and just pretty much farmed people. We had TikTok coins that were blowing up, that were bringing in normies. The coins were dumping. And I've always said, whenever we get to the point where you do the opposite, you don't get people into crypto, but crypto gets into people, that is when people are going to be able to learn to adapt. And that's why it's super important. I do want to let you guys know, listen, my stream is completely different than any other stream you're gonna watch. I'm not here to show you how much my bags pump. I'm here to show you how to make money and how to make you rich. So if you want to be rich, if you want to change your life, if you want to make sure you get financial freedom, pay attention to these streams because I'm giving you guys alpha right now before anybody else. So keep that in mind. Okay, so what is this new meta? ICM. So let me explain to you guys exactly what ICM is. Okay. So I'm going to give you guys a perfect example of how it works in the outside world and how that's going to work within our crypto landscape. Okay. So whenever a company, in this case, let's say we're gonna take, let's see, let's do, let's make this like a triangle. Let's say this is company A. Okay. So whenever company A, which is this one, decides and they say, yo, I want to grow. I want to become bigger, right? But they're like, in order for me to become bigger, how do I do it? Because I don't have money. I don't have money to become bigger. Companies like, oh my goodness, we don't have money. How do we get money to become and how do we get money to blow up? Okay. That's one of the biggest things that companies face. How do we get money, right? Money. Money's the main thing. So they say, in order for us to make money, then what we need to do is we need to go ahead and sell pieces of the company. And what they do is they go ahead and say, like, okay, you know what? I'm going to sell this little piece right here of my company, and I'm going to sell that piece of the company, and I'm going to sell that. All right. And that is what we call stocks. Okay. Stocks. Okay. So they sell a piece of the company, and they're like, in order for this company to grow and get bigger, I'm going to sell this little piece, and I'm going to sell those as stocks. Okay. Now the company starts growing, growing, and growing and growing, and then they get to a point where they're like, "Oh my goodness, we're back to the same problem because we want the company to grow, but we don't want to sell more of our company. We want to keep growing, but we just don't know how to get more money." So what do they do? They're like, "Well, the only way we're able to do that is if we find people. Okay, these are my little people, so don't judge. Okay, if we find people and we tell these people, hey, guys, listen, can you let me borrow money? All right. Can you let me borrow money? And I promise you, whenever my company gets big, I will give you back that money. Okay. So that is called bonds. Okay. This is basically pretty much stocks 101. Okay. And that's what it is. So stocks and bonds, this is how, the world works and the world operates. So, that's what Tesla does, other companies does, that's what they do in order to make money. So how is this even relative to what we're talking about, right? Okay. So now comes this brand new system called ICM, which is literally just entered into the crypto space. And this is one thing that I've been kind of preaching for a very long time, that in order for us to be able to make money and start making, printing money, we have to learn to adapt to get more retail into the here, not for them to buy our bags, but for them to pump our bags, which is totally different. So this is basically the way stocks and bonds work. Okay. So how does this actually work in the crypto sphere? This is where DUPE comes in. Okay. So DUPE, this is how I was able to identify this coin and say, okay, this is a brand new meta that's coming in to the world of crypto. So what exactly is DUPE? Well, DUPE is basically the same thing. It is a company that says, how do we make money? How do we make money? Okay. How do we make money? So the only way they're able to make money is they're like, well, we don't want to make sure we don't want to become, we don't want to sell stocks and we don't want to sell bonds. So how do we do it? They said, okay, you know what? Let's go ahead and create a token and call it dupe. Okay. And this is going to make perfect sense. And this is what's the new meta is. Okay. This is brand new meta. And they said, let's call it dupe. And instead of us asking, to sell our half of our company or to give our company away, we are going to let people invest in our company. All right. So let's, since I did a very horrible job with my little people drawing, we're going to say that this represents people. Okay. All right. So, they said, how do we make money? Well, I said, well, let's get people to invest in our coin. And the only way we're able to invest in our coin is if we have them buy this dupe token. Okay. We have them buy this dupe token. So, in order for us to buy this dupe token, um, we're going to force them to buy the dupe token. Okay. And they were like, okay, well, that makes perfect sense because if they buy the dupe token, then that means, they're going to be pretty much investing. That came out ugly. Okay, hold on. Let's go back to our drawing. All right, so they said, let's have these people buy our dupe token. Okay, so the price goes up on dupe, the more money they make, the more money we make. Okay, so that's basically what dupe is, and basically in retrospect, what this ICM means. This ICM is a lot of companies coming into the crypto space and saying, I want to create a company, or I'm a startup company, but I don't have money to be able to start up my company or to push my company further than what I have it right now. What I need money. And the only way for me to make money is to make a token, in this case, dupe, to be able to generate that money so I could push my company forward and integrate this token into the dupe ecosystem. That is basically what this is. Now, it's very simple to explain if you just think of it. I'm just going to mention these two words. Like if you think of web 2, which is basically websites, which is basically anything that's in the internet currently right now, websites, apps, and web 3, which is pretty much crypto. It is basically the fusion of web 2 combined with web 3 in an ecosystem that allows you to be able to use that token in different ways. Okay. So that is what ICM is. So with that being said, did everybody understand what the new meta is? I want to make sure you guys understand it because this is going to help you guys identify the brand new coins that are going to make you a ton of money. Okay. I'm telling you right now, we had the AI meta. You saw how high the coins went. Some hit a billion. A couple hit a billion, actually. Some even hit almost like 1.5 billion. And it's super important that you get these coins early because if you do not get these coins early, you're going to be buying the tops and not making a lot of profit. Okay. So I want to make sure you guys are making as much profit as you possibly can because I need you to be able to identify. So if you understand what this ICM is, now we're going to go in and talk about the coins. And we're also going to be kind of going over some of the coins that we're pretty good. Okay.